like a real thing. Because if you have them throughout history, and every culture has a story about these winged creatures that precede disaster, but they all call them something different.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Right.
Mothman, I mean, I don't...
The gravediggers said, it's funny, the gravediggers said they looked up from their work and they saw a huge figure with wings moving rapidly from tree to tree. It looked like a brown human being with huge wings.
How tall of a human being, I wonder? I mean, I guess, it could be just some giant, humongous bird.
I mean, it could be a big-ass bird.
But it begs the question, why haven't, where's the, you know what I mean, where's the proof, where's the evidence? Why hasn't anybody got this thing on?
This is the interesting thing. If it is just a huge bird, why wouldn't you see more of it?
Right.
Or why wouldn't you see it more often?
And
why would it only come around when disaster is going to happen? When something horrible happens?
Yeah, so, yeah, why? And that, yeah, is it living somewhere underground or in a cave like a bat? You know what I mean? It only comes out every now and then? Or is this thing interdimensional? Does it just shift into our dimension, and can it shift out of our dimension whenever it wants? I mean, it seems to me, if there's giant fucking dudes flying around with 10-foot wings, that more people would be talking about this. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because to me, like Bigfoot, you can understand how you would never see a Bigfoot, because this motherfucker's on the ground and can hide. It's hard to hide when you're flying in the air.
Who is the guy that wrote the book about it? Was it Klein? Was his last name John Klein, I think? He wrote the Mothman Prophecies, which, let me explain to you, if you've ever seen...
No, it was, the Mothman was introduced
yeah, but John
to Hawaiian audience by Gray Barker in 1970 and was later popularized by John Keel in his 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies, claiming that there were supernatural events related to the sightings and a connection to the collapse of the Silver Bridge.
Well, see, Keel...
What was the Silver Bridge?
Oh, you don't... Oh, you didn't know what... Oh, so you don't know the whole story. You must have never seen the movie or anything.
I've never seen the movie.
46 people died on the Silver Bridge. The Silver Bridge is a bridge that went across the Ohio River from Ohio into Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Okay.
So, to get from Ohio to Point Pleasant, it was a main bridge that everybody crossed.
Yeah.
Well, it was, I believe, now, I'm going to look it up, but I believe it was December 24th, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, 46 people died in that accident. The whole bridge collapsed. The whole bridge went up. While they were on it, it was either, I think it was Christmas Eve, because they...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's why there were so many people on the bridge. They were coming back from shopping and stuff, and the bridge went, completely collapsed. And, yeah, 46 people drowned in the river there. And it's funny, after the bridge collapsed, no one ever saw the Mothman again. Isn't that interesting?
Huh.
Yeah. Because they started seeing them about 2 to 3 weeks before that. And then they never saw them again after that.
That's wild. Because it's funny, well, because it was... Because, I mean, obviously your mind could go to, is this Mothman creature responsible for the collapse of that bridge? Or does this Mothman creature just know in advance that this is destined to happen?
I'll give you one. What if it's death?
Like a Grim Reaper type character?
Yeah, what if they're Grim Reaper beings that actually take you into the next area? And when there's a disaster, that's why you see them, because there's more than one coming around, because there's a lot of people to take. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, they could just be demons or beings of an evil nature that just like to be around suffering. I mean, it could be as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't jump to the conclusion that they're evil. You know what I'm saying? I try to be careful, like, immediately jumping to the conclusion that this thing's evil.
Well, I didn't say necessarily evil. What I'm saying is they might like to be
right.
around disastrous, evil things.
Right, but, I mean, that's the connotation that it gets. That most of these things get, right? Most of these crypto characters are looked at in a frightening way. It would be frightening. Even if it's not evil. You know what I'm saying? If you see Bigfoot in the fucking woods, you're going to be scared. And even if it's not evil, if you see Bigfoot with 10-foot wings flying above your head, you're going to be scared.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil. And,
right.
But it's definitely interesting that they precede this disasters. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that begs the question, like, are they causing the disaster? Or are they just there, like you said, because they know it's coming? And they've got a job to do with the souls.
Right. Well, see, according to the two witnesses that you were talking about, the two kids, they said this creature flew at incredible speeds, perhaps as fast as 100 miles an hour, because the boy said he was so scared that he hit the gas. He was doing probably 90 to 100 miles an hour, he said, coming out of this place, right? He said he was flying, and he said this thing was right above him the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Could it be a drone technology?
They said it actually chased their vehicles all the way to the outskirts of town, and when they got into town, it veered off and went away. It went to a nearby field and then completely disappeared.
Could it be some kind of drone technology?
Of course it could.
Yeah.
It could also be alien technology. It could be aliens from another planet that are just watching, or it could be time travel. If you could come back in time,
travel.
or interdimensional, what if you could come back in time or come through a dimension and watch great tragedies like the History Channel? It'd be like watching the History Channel, but you get to live it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And then, and that ties right into simulation theory. You know what I'm saying? Because more than one person, more than just Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
and anybody with any common sense that can just think logically. We've talked about this before. Like when I was a real little kid, the biggest thing out there was an Atari. Right?
Yeah.
A joystick with a button.
Yeah.
And if you look at video games now, I mean, if I'm playing a PlayStation basketball game, people will mistake it for an actual real game being on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And given enough time at any incremental value, like technology continues to upgrade, at even the tiniest percentage, it continues to get better. Over enough time, it would get to the point where you would be in a virtual reality that would be indistinguishable from this reality. Which would make sense to what you just said. What if they're literally coming back just to watch disaster, like we watch a TV show? It's just that they've progressed to this advanced stage where they're literally in their fucking virtual realities.
I'm saying, can I be Hugh Hefner for a little while, guy? Just a little while. A couple days.
Well, why do you think the government hides the technology? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the fuck, that's what we would all be doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We would obviously be fucking hanging out with fucking Cosby, fuck Playboy Mansion.
Now look, here's, I almost fucked up. I caught myself. You've only had to take one shot, and if you haven't taken
half
a shot,
we'll get half shot.
Hey, no, I didn't even get the word out. I just said,
I'm guessing people they're trying to probably get buzzed, and they're not happy right now.
I'm sorry about the sensitive people out there in podcast land that are trying to take a shot. I hope not, because some people, I'm sure, listen to us on their commute. If you are listening and you're in your car driving right now, please, please, please do not take a shot. I'm begging you, don't take a shot.
I guess I always would consider myself more interesting if you were drunk and listening to me, you know what I mean? It's gotta be a little easier.
I don't know how you stomach it without being a little
I mean, honestly, that's why I drink.
I'm saying.
I can't stand to listen to myself.
That's a good podcast, actually. Have you ever listened to that podcast, That's Why We Drink?
No.
It's funny. It's two chicks. They're funny as fuck, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think they're drinking most of the time.
Oh, hell yeah. need to get him on our podcast.
Anyways, so Newell Patridge, a resident of Salem, West Virginia, claimed that he saw a strange pattern appearing on his television screen one night. Almost. Almost.
What kind of screen was that?
It was a screen, yeah.
Was that taking shots?
Yeah, that was a Scott shot. Oh, there.
Scott shot. Scott shots.
That's a double. That's a double right there. I just fucked up twice. Please, double shot.
Hey, that's
double shot right to the head. See, look, I'm making up for it.
That's what old Nicolepsy drinks. Jameson, he'd take a Scott shot for you.
Yeah. He would take a Scotch.
Absolutely.
When I drink, I used to like Scotch myself, but
when I drink alone. Yeah, with nobody else.
Yeah, I like to have my friend Jim Beam over. Me and him like to hang out.
You know, when I drink alone, I prefer to be by myself.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. So do I. Just me and old granddad. Anyway. Anyways, this dude said he saw appearing on his television screen one night.
Was that Newell Partridge from the Partridge Family?
No, he's a resident of Salem.
Oh, okay.
Which, again, this is a guy outside of Point Pleasant. See, a lot of people talk about all the stuff that happened in Point Pleasant, and a lot of it did. And it's mainly because Keel wrote that book.
Right.
And in the book,
the two young couples were finger banging.
Well, not only in that book, a lot of people try to play down a lot of things he said, but I think it should be mentioned that he himself, many people he wrote in the book said they saw UFOs. He was approached himself by what he said was men in black, telling him to not publish his work. And a lot of people...
Keel was approached by the...
Yeah.
No shit.
And a lot of people say that he's crazy, obviously. But 66, and we know... Okay, look. 1966. We've talked about this before. MK Ultra was going on. Kennedy assassination. All that was being planned.
So
Manson. All of that.
Moon, going to the moon.
Right. On top of that, what was the alien research project that was going on at that time? We did a whole episode on those.
Blue Book.
Yeah, Blue Book. In the 60s. So all of that was going on. So it's not really that far-fetched to believe that men in black were coming around talking to people, telling them to shut shit down. Especially if it had to do with UFOs.
So you're saying there was UFO sightings
in the area.
In the area at the same time as the Mothman.
Correct.
No shit.
Correct.
That's
yeah.
Well, that right there would give more credence to
interdimensional.
To it being alien technology, like you said. It could be an alien type drone.
It might not even be a drone. It might be an actual alien in a suit.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we got fucking dudes flying around in suits.
Or it could be aliens.
Now.
But that could just be a species of alien too. How do we know?
Sure. Well, that's the thing. It could be anything.
Right.
It could be anything.
But this dude.
Well, I think that it's something.
Oh, it's definitely something.
Right.
Yeah. All right. All these people can't be crazy. But he said he saw a strange pattern on his television, followed by a mysterious sound just outside of his home. Shining in a flashlight toward the direction of the noise, Patridge supposedly witnessed two red eyes resembling bicycle reflectors looking back at him. So he said he saw two red eyes, got scared, and he just said screw it and ran off.
I mean, you see red eyes in photos sometimes.
Yeah, but you don't see red eyes in the dark when you're shining a flashlight.
You see like deer's and animals' eyes, but they're not red.
Mm-hmm. But see, a lot of these people, after a few of these people saw the Mothman, then everybody was panicking. So they were calling the police every time they saw a big bird. Because there's cranes out there and stuff too that are very big birds.
Yeah.
But,
there's big ass birds out there.
I'm sorry, you're not going to mistake a crane for a freaking man with wings. And the grave diggers, they saw this thing in the middle of the day because they were working. So they were digging graves. So it was the middle of the day. I mean, grave diggers ain't working in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
They're digging graves in the middle of the day. So it's probably noon, sun's up, you're in a graveyard. I mean, you're not going to mistake a crane jumping from tree to tree and mistake it for a big brown man jumping from tree to tree.